All right, what is up, racing world? Looks like it's just going to be me tonight. Not sure where the bald-headed guy is, but I got my guest in the back. He's been waiting for a little bit, so we're going to get right at it. I'm just going to go it alone tonight, and we have two guests on. So if Joel pops on, we'll pop him on the show, and he'll get some questions in. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go it alone. As usual, the comment section is up on the side. And today's guest on the show is Christian Eckes. So, if anybody's got any questions for him, you know what to do. So, without further ado, let's bring Christian on. Christian, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just a lovely Statesville, North Carolina night now. It's not even afternoon.
Yeah, no, it's beyond that.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's nice weather. Here, I mean, down there it's probably nice. Here it's been raining all day, but,
I guess I left at the right time then.
There you go. See that? At least you had great travels. Glad you made it back home. But thanks for coming on, talking with us.
Man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, so you went back to Bethel this weekend.
I did.
Local guy, going back to the roots, I guess you'd say, right?
Yeah, something like that. So I ran legend cars back there in 2014, and I always wanted to go back. I never have to this particular race at Legend Stock at Bethel Motor Speedway. Finally got the opportunity with Scott Harkin Racing, and can't thank them enough for giving me the opportunity to race. But had a blast, man. I felt like we're about a second place car. We got the lead, and we got shuffled back from a little aggression the last lap. But overall, I had a blast, and it was a good weekend off.
Yeah, there you go. So how did you've been racing for a while? How'd you get your start in racing? Your family go racing, or you just picked it up and decided I want to go racing on my own?
Yeah, so I wanted to race pretty much my whole life. I'd always go around my property and stuff on go-karts and quads and dirt bikes, everything like that. And I always kind of wanted to get into professional racing. And one of my dad's friends actually raced at Bethel and Middletown, Accord, pretty much everywhere. And we went to watch a couple of them. We finally went to Bethel, and we saw that the Bandolero division was there. And I figured it'd just be a fun time. So I rented a car one week and, kind of fell in love with it from there, and, got a Bando and raced it for a couple of years, and then got a legend car and raced that. It's kind of been a whirlwind ever since. So, I got all my start at Bethel. So it was really cool to go back and kind of relive memories.
And when was the last time you was there? Besides Saturday? Yeah, it's been a while.
Probably 2015. I went up there one time to run somebody else's car just in practice. And that's about it. I haven't been there in 6 or 7 years now, so it was cool to come back for sure.
Yeah, it's always nice to come back home, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I got to see some family. A bunch of family came out to watch me, and it's been a while since that. I only get one race a year from them to come watch at Pocono, so it was cool for them to come.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can have family there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's the thing. And you worked your way up into the trucks. I mean, tell us about that experience.
Yeah, no, it's been fun for sure. Toyota's kind of really jump-started my career as far as that. It got me the opportunity in ARCA, and then got me the opportunity in trucks. I'm just super thankful for them and all my partners across up here mostly. But it's been a blast for sure.
And you started out with Kyle Busch, right? Kyle Busch Motorsports. That's who you got your.
Yeah, so I ran with KBM for 3 years. Now I'm with ThorSport Racing.
How was that working with Kyle? That's good. That had to be a heck of experience, right? I mean, is he as bad as they say? I mean,
no, not at all. He's got a little bit of a bad reputation, but
I like him. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he was always super helpful to me. Still to this day, if I had a question, I'd call him up, and I guarantee you he'd give me the answer. So even splitting away from the team, but yeah, no, it was awesome race for Kyle. Unfortunately, that partnership came to an end last year. Just a lot of things went bad, and it is what it is. But I'm really happy where I'm at with ThorSport Racing now. We have a really good thing going. We just got locked into the playoffs for the Owners Championship, which starts in 2 races. So we have Watkins Glen and then the playoffs start. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We won an Owners Championship with KBM back in 2019. And hopefully I can get another ring for the collection here in Phoenix in a couple months.
Yeah, that's always cool. Now you said that was just you're just racing part-time, right? For the people that don't know, this year is just a part-time gig with Thor.
Yeah, I'm splitting the season with Grant Infinger at ThorSport in the 98.
And who what do you got? Johnny Sauter? Is it Sauter that races for them too, or no? Who's
yeah? So my teammates are so Matt Crafton runs full time, Johnny Sauter runs full time, Ben Rhodes runs full time. Me and Grant split the 98, and then Ty Majeski and Paul Menard run a few in our 5th truck, the 66 truck.
Oh, so you guys got a lot of stuff going on out of that.
Yeah, we got a lot of drivers. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you're saying that off air there that you got quite the tote there to the race shop.
Yeah, it's an 8.5 hour drive, which is a little bit different than the 5 minutes I was used to at KBM, but I'm super grateful still. It's a hell of a lot better than sitting on the couch for sure.
Yeah. I'm just looking at questions. I don't know. Let's see. Somebody asked the difference between the suspension between the cars and the trucks.
Yeah, so the suspension's really not that much different. The chassis are a little bit different, just the capacity that the roll cages have to be a little bit higher to be truck spec. But for the most part, they're pretty much the same. There's a little bit different rules. Like the Cup cars have no ride height, and the trucks do have a ride height. And there's little quirks here and there, but for the most part, all the suspension is the same. They all have truck arms and they all have regular front suspension. So for the most part, they're pretty much the same. Just a little bit different chassis wise and body wise.
All right. Now, have you raced locally on dirt or anything like that? Any street stock racing, local dirt track stuff? Nothing?
No, I never did. The only dirt experience I have is one truck race at Eldora, and then I ran for a couple years in the ARCA series. We'd run at Springfield and DeCoin in Illinois. But other than that, I don't have much dirt experience.
Yes, I mentioned that because somebody asked the question, if you had the chance to run a big block modified up here, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. All my asphalt buddies have come out and run them now. Both my buddies, Max McLaughlin and Tyler Dipple, run them now instead of the asphalt NASCAR stuff. So, yeah, given the opportunity, for sure, I'd love to come run one.
Right. Here's a question too. The thoughts on racing the truck on the dirt. Yeah, get mixed emotions, I guess. What somebody that has done it. What's your input on that?
So, I thought the Bristol dirt was terrible. I feel like if we're going to go to a dirt track, we might as well go to or we're going to race on dirt. We might as well go to an actual dirt track and not, take an asphalt track and put dirt on it.
Right.
Yeah. No, I thought that was horrible from the beginning. But on actual dirt, I felt like the Eldora race was always really good. The top lane would come in, it build a little bit of a berm up there, and then the bottom would be in a position that it'd have fresh dirt because everybody would run the bottom or on the top, and we could race pretty good. Obviously, everybody saw what happened in Knoxville. The top dried out really quickly, and it turned into a shit show to say the least. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's different ways that we could do it. If we could mount the radiator in the back of the truck and get the track wetter, because we can't run a really wet track because of the fact that we have windshields. Yeah, right. And we won't be able to see within a corner. So there's ways to get around it, I think. And I think NASCAR needs to kind of explore those options to try to come up with a solution. Because what we have right now, I don't think it's going to work, and the track's too dirty or too dry and too slick to really make anything happen. And maybe if we get a little bit wetter and have some mud thrown, it might be okay.
I mean, the first thing you got to do is lose the windshields. I mean, that's that's obvious. It don't take rocket science to figure that out. But,
yeah. No, it's the problem of the radiator getting packed full of dirt and
Right.
the windshield. So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll come up with something soon because I think it'd be a fun race. Obviously those trucks really aren't meant to go race dirt, but in the same aspect,
Yeah.
if we can make it work, it'd be fun. So have to
Yeah.
see.
Like they just put it on, Knoxville, and Knoxville gets one lane. Some people complaining about the one lane
Yeah.
racetrack. There's not really a top side at Knoxville anyway. Once it gets locked down, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
that's just the way it is there. So
It looked super promising, like I said, the
Yep.
first 10, 15 laps, and then it just went away just like that. So,
yeah.
like the top was preferred there for, like I said, 10, 15 laps, and then it just went away completely. So,
So a question, of all your tracks that you race on, I mean, obviously you've been on quite a few. What's your favorite?
So my favorite track, which actually racing Bethel this weekend, it's basically a big version of it, is Worldwide Technology Raceway Park.
Okay.
It's in St. Louis, Missouri. It has a very similar structure to Bethel, actually, which is kind of strange. But
Okay.
that might be why I'm so good there. I'm not sure, but we've always run good there in the past. It's a really cool racetrack, and the fact that it's super flat. But turn 1 and 2 has a little bit of a banking. It's a tighter corner. And 3 and 4 has like a little bit of a winding bend to it, similar to Bethel, how it's a little bit wider down there. So, yeah, it's a cool racetrack. I like Worldwide Technology. I like Pocono too. I like all the flat races for whatever reason.
And what you've raced at Daytona and Talladega?
Yeah, I've raced the both.
Just what's that like? I gotta know.
It's honestly, so it's really not that sketchy.
No?
The racing is a little wild, but driving on the track itself is boring as hell. So
Really?
yeah, like you go to Charlotte, it's really tight. That's the biggest thing is the sensation of speed is how tight everything is. If the wall comes up close and Charlotte's you can really only fit 2 trucks in Charlotte.
Right.
Anywhere. That's probably the fastest track I feel like sensation wise I've been on. Daytona Talladega, it's just kind of sketching the fact that you're pushing and shoving and doing all the stuff that you really shouldn't be doing with a car at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't feel like you're going that fast.
Really? Yeah. I mean, looking at it from my perspective, outside, either in the stands or on television, man, that just looks hell-raising. Like, scare you to death. I mean,
it's sketchy, for sure, because you have to push in the right exact spot, or you'll hook somebody. So yeah, it's not my favorite type of racing for sure. I mean, it's fun, but it's definitely not my favorite because I haven't finished the Super Speedway race in the Truck Series yet. I've wrecked at Daytona twice, and I've wrecked at Talladega once.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
definitely not your place to be. Yeah, I hear that.
No, not at all.
Let's see. Yes. If you had to lean on your teammates for advice, who would it be, Crafton or Sauter?
Probably both. They're both really cool dudes, and they have a lot of experience, and they've won a lot of races and championships. So, it's really cool to be surrounded by both of them. If I need something in any capacity, they're always there to help. And, if I have questions on my car compared to their car, they're always, wanting to get better and wanting to succeed. So, it's been a healthy relationship, to say the least.
Yeah, Crafton, he's been around a long time. He knows what he's doing for certain.
Yeah.
I mean, Sauter too. Sauter been around a long time. He's just a different kind of driver, though.
Yeah.
To say the least. It says, what we're here. What's the coolest trophy you've ever won?
So I got a lot of cool ones, honestly.
Big monster mammoth ones, right?
It's honestly not my biggest ones that are the coolest. So my snowball trophy is pretty cool.
Oh,
that one's sitting right over there, whatever you want to call it, right there. And I got my guitar from Nashville in the ARCA race. My Pocono Eagle is pretty cool. The Legend Stock trophy is cool too. I've always thought that one was cool. I wish I could have got another one this weekend. But yeah, I've gotten lucky with the trophies. I've won big races that have always been pretty cool. So yeah, I'd probably say either the eagle, the snowball, or the guitar. I don't
Yeah.
pick favorites, so one of those three.
Now, what was the transition like coming up from ARCA? I mean, obviously you ran very well in the ARCA. I mean,
Yeah.
so what was the transition like jumping from that ARCA car into that truck? Was it a smooth transition, or was it a huge learning curve?
It's a huge learning curve, honestly. That's why you see a lot of guys struggle and take so long to win races in the truck series because you're going. Because usually, if you get moved to the truck series, you were champion in ARCA. And now you're racing against 40 ARCA champions, pretty much. Well, probably not. I mean, like 10 of them are not that good, but
Yeah.
30 of them are pretty damn good and deserve to be there in the whole nine. So, yeah, it's quite a big difference. You're trying to learn the aero things. You have to learn it on the fly because ARCA, you're racing against 3 different cars and you don't have to race against 20 different trucks. And everything happens so much faster. You have to, a little mistake in ARCA, you go a lap down, you finish 5th. A little mistake in trucks, you go a lap down, you finish 35th. Right. So it's a different transition as far as the mental aspect as well. To be able to sit there and not be okay with running 12th, but like right. Understand that like 12th isn't a horrible day, as the 12th in ARCA is a little bit of a transition, to say the least. So I'm getting there, I think, but in the same aspect, it takes a while, and I think that's why you guys see guys struggle in the beginning and then come around towards the end. It just takes a while to kind of get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched you in the KBM truck. I mean, you've had some really good runs, though. I mean, you looked really good in that.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a lot of crap luck too. I mean, seen that many times.
There was 3 or 4 races we let go last year that we should have won, but it's hindsight 2020. I can armchair quarterback it all day, but you just gotta move on and use the lessons you learn towards the next one.
Yeah, that's tough. So what's your future plans? You looking to maybe Xfinity or something like that, or you content in the trucks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy where I'm at as far as the truck series. I'd like to stay there. I'd like to go back full time. Obviously, that's the ultimate goal for all of us. I ran full time last year and got in the playoffs. Unfortunately, got exited in the first round from wrecking at Talladega, but I'd like an opportunity to go back and run for a championship. I feel like I can do it. I just need another shot to do it. And like I said, I feel pretty comfortable where we're at Thor Sport Racing, and obviously I'd like to stay there. It just has to see how everything works out.
So how many races are you doing this year with them? What's your total number?
So I run 10 out of the 22, so basically a half season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a...
Let's see. What local drivers from Bethlehem did you watch when you were younger? Did you learn things from? Visions. Well, I watched you a lot, Larry.
I was going to say, you got to know Larry, right?
I watched Larry a lot.
You'll learn how to crank it sideways and be all out of control if you watch Larry, right?
I watched Larry a lot. I mostly watched the legend car guys the most. Like Mike Alcaro, I watched him a lot and raced with him and still talked to him a good bit. Matt Papa, back when he used to run, I don't know what he does anymore. He went dirt racing for a little bit and kind of fell off the side of the earth.
I haven't seen his name nowhere in a long time.
Yeah, he was a big hero of mine for a while. I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah.
But Larry and John Cody, I think he won
John Cody. Yeah.
I don't know how many modified wins and championships and everything like that there. I think that's his name, right?
Who's that?
In the BMS mods.
John Cody? Yeah, he runs the BMS mods up there. Yeah.
Yeah, he always won. Like, I mean, I remember looking at his car. He had 1,000 stickers on the thing.
Yeah.
He always won races.
Yeah.
But I grew up racing with everybody. Grew up racing with Rudy Roth and David French. You know, there's a lot of people that I grew up racing with. That
Yeah.
David still runs. I don't know if Rudy still races or not, but yeah, there was a lot of people I looked up to back then.
Yeah.
Still do, and they've done a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. Now you drove that did you travel around with that thing, or was that strictly Bethel too? For the Legends car? I mean,
So
did you run Charlotte? I know they run Charlotte. I don't know,
yeah,
really know much about Legends, but
yeah. So for the most part, when I raced the Bandolero, I went to just Bethel and Waterford,
okay.
in Waterbury, Connecticut. Is that where that
Connecticut.
is? Somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Connecticut. But mostly Bethel. I mean, I ran a full season of Bethel pretty much every year, and would just travel on Wednesdays to Waterford. As soon as the Legend cars came around, I ran, I want to say 13 or 14 of the 20 some races that Bethel ran that year.
Oh, okay.
I was running for national points though, so I was pretty much traveling. I mean, I'd run at the summer shootout Monday, Tuesday, race Chamon in PA on Friday. Or is that in New York? In PA or New York? I'm
New
not
York,
sure.
yeah, it should be New York.
Yeah, it would have been New York.
Yep.
I raced there on Friday. Raced Bethel Saturday or Concord Speedway, depending, or North Carolina. They just
Okay.
bulldozed
Yep.
it, but used to run that some weeks. Maybe I think they changed the name to Evergreen.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
used to be Mountain Speedway.
Yeah.
I ran
Evergreens.
that some Sundays. I mean, we ran for national. I ran like 60 some races that year. We were traveling every week trying to get points. So
Yeah.
I did. I ran. I want to say I ran 13 of them because I remember I won 12 and I wrecked it. Legend stock. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, I was
Yep.
back in my day. It was okay there.
What?
Got my
Yeah.
ass kicked this weekend, but I'm
Yep.
a has been. I guess I don't know.
Yep. See that? Step away. That's what happens. And here's
Yeah.
somebody that would know your answer about Papa. He said he sold all his race car stuff and is into drifting now. So there's your answer to that.
It's an interesting transition, to say the least. But
Yeah, big time.
it's cool. He always had the nicest stuff. His legend cars were awesome. His trailer was super nice, and
Yep.
I think he was racing for Brett Hearn for
Brett
a
Hearn.
while.
Yeah, I say yeah. Brett Hearn.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the
Yeah, he was big into it too, and then you're right, he just fell
yeah,
off, and he never heard or seen from him again.
yeah. No, I mean I was a huge, like, I was fanboying that dude. I don't know what it was, but I
Yeah,
thought the dude was awesome.
yeah. This is a good question here. Since you started out young, if you had any
Yeah,
advice for any young kids getting involved in racing, what would it be?
just have fun. You know, the as you progress up and up, it becomes more of a job. So when you're starting out, just learn, have fun, enjoy racing. I'm not saying it gets less fun as it goes, but it gets harder, and you have to
Yeah,
work way harder when you have to come up. So I think the biggest thing is just have fun and learn, and just have fun. It's all it's about. And if you're not having fun, then we shouldn't be doing it.
yeah. And I say now I have to ask. I mean, you were racing legend. The R. How did the deal come about to make the jump to the trucks?
Yeah, so I raced ARCA for a couple of years for Venturing Motorsports and had
Yes.
a kind of a connection with Toyota. And as soon as I kind of won a bunch of races in 2018 and went full time in 2019, the talks kind of started. And I was already at KBM in 2018 and 2019. Excuse me. And there was just kind of talks that kept going and kept going, and Harrison was moving on to Xfinity. So Safe Flight was looking for somebody to partner with for that year, and everything kind of aligned to get a full time season last year, and super grateful for that learning experience for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. His
But for
Robbie.
the for the most part, it's all just kind of Toyota aligning what their driver development plans are.
Now, is that how that usually works? I'm just for young people moving up. Is it? Do you You know, some people you hear the people say that you got to have money, you got to have all the is it? Do you need to know somebody? I mean, what is it? Is it that hard to get to that
It's
next step?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot. Obviously you need to have people behind you that support you, um, financially and mentally,
Right.
throughout the entire process. But you kind of get to a certain point where that stops.
Mm-hmm.
In Toyota or Chevy, or a team will kind of pluck you and put you where they want. So, thankfully, Toyota Racing was that plucker for me.
Right.
And I kind of won the Snowball Derby, and then they wanted me more, and the ARCA cars, and then eventually the trucks. So it's been a great relationship so far, and hopefully we can progress up the
Right.
ladder even more in the future.
So it's pretty much like handpicked, then, is what.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no,
because you see it like, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but there's some guys that you look on a Sunday, it's like, why is he even out there on a racetrack?
yeah. That's a different scenario.
You
The
know?
people that are in the good trucks are usually pretty good. So
Right. So,
it's all a process. The ones that are running 35th usually they didn't get plucked. They're bringing it somehow.
they're
So
bringing it some right. That's
yeah,
where I'm getting at. Like that's the people that's
yeah,
coming with all the greenbacks and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's what I was
It's
trying.
yeah. No, it kind of just depends on the situation for sure. But it's basically if you're in a good ride, you're there for a reason.
For a reason, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, you see it a lot more, a lot. You know, it's like, geez, they must come with a lot of something. But it says, obviously, you're not you're not in the race shop when it's 8.5 hours away, right?
Yeah. No, it's quite a ways away. I used to go to KBM on a daily basis when I was there. It's a little bit harder now. I'll go up for like a week or so, just since it's 8 hours away. I'm not just gonna drive up there for a couple hours and drive back. So I'll stay up there for a couple weeks and help the guys out and stuff like that. But for the most part, we're kind of at the point where they get paid to do their own thing, and they're
Yeah.
pretty good at what they do. So they're at least smarter than me at what they do. So
Yeah.
I kind of let them do what they do, and try to stay out of it and just drive the car.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. You know, as a driver, when you go to that race shop, what do you do in there? You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like a local track where you're hands
Mhm.
on. You know, I can't. Are you
Yeah.
hands on like that, or do they just take your advice of what's going on and give input? And you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean it's mostly just kind of build a relationship with all the guys there, and
Right.
I can work on any piece of the car that I wanted to. I'm hands on in the aspect that I know what I'm looking at and how to do it, but in the same
Hmm.
aspect, I feel like those guys get paid to do what they do for a reason, and
Right.
like I said, they're smarter than me with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could if I wanted to, but in the same aspect, I just let them
Yeah.
do them jobs, and it kind of works the best when you know what you're talking about and know how to make the cars better, and you can provide that feedback.
Right.
But you're not getting in the way, and you're not focusing on something that you don't need to be focusing on. 'Cause,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
such a hard, and it's a team sport. Everybody's really good at what they do, and I'm good at driving, and they're good at working on it. So
Right.
it's a good balance.
Yeah, I was wondering that because you hear the drivers say, they spend all this time, they're at the race shop. I'm like, well, what are they doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, are they really
they're
doing
not doing
anything?
much.
Or right? They're
They're not
just
doing much.
right. That's what I'm saying. They're just there. They're
Yeah, pretty much.
good conversation pieces, I guess. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So my partner always asks the question to everybody. I mean, obviously, besides Daytona 500, what would be one race that you would love to win?
One race that I'd like to win. The Daytona 500 really wouldn't be high up on my list,
No,
honestly. I
really.
mean, it'd be cool for sure. But I don't value the super speedways as much as like the Coke 600 or Martinsville. The
Okay.
Bristol would be cool. Like the other crown jewels that are out there. Indy would be cool. Do they even still run in Indy? I think they do. They have
I
to.
think it's on the road course now. I
Yeah,
believe.
That's weird. Well, the old
I mean, like
the old
like
Brickyard would be
the
cool to win.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't think they run on that no more.
yeah, that's a shame. But um, yeah, there's a couple like the Crown Jewels. The Southern
Yep.
500 would be super cool to win. Um, but yeah, I kind of value those a little bit more than the Daytona 500.
That's
Just in
interesting.
the fact
Okay.
that like the Daytona 500 is it's a super speedway race. You don't really have much control.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have a lot of control in the capacity that you can put yourself in positions to win. But I feel like as far as driving, you'd feel more accomplished if you won the Southern 500 or
Right.
something that requires a lot of real driving and stuff like
Driving a
that.
bit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of driving a bit, what about road courses? How you feel about road courses? You think you're a decent road
So
course racer?
I've never road raced in my entire life. I've only ran two, and they both been truck races.
Uh huh.
Um, no, three now. Um, Finished 10th at Daytona Road Course, but no, I'm not very good.
Love your honesty.
I'm not good. I mean, I qualified okay at Coda, but then ran 22nd all day. I qualified in the top 10, and then went to 22nd and broke. So yeah, I don't know if it was something that was happening there or what, but I just bought a road racing go-kart, and I'm gonna start going to some tracks here and there to try to get better. But yeah, I'm definitely not the greatest road racer so far.
Well, at least you're honest about it. That's good.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Or some you're running Darlington? If so, some of us locals will be there.
So no, I will not be running Darlington. That was it was originally supposed to be Canada. They changed the race to Darlington because of the border situation right now with COVID.
Right. That's right.
And that was Grant's race all along for Coda. So yeah, he'll be running that one.
Damn. Yep. That's got fans all over the place. That's good.
Yeah.
Somebody somebody asked, "What's your least favorite track?" That's a good question. Your least favorite?
Probably Michigan.
Michigan.
Hate Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, it's so aero dependent. Um, you're wide open, but it's sketchy. It's just not a fun racetrack whatsoever.
Okay.
It races like a mix of a super speedway and a mile and a half, which isn't a good mix at all.
Yeah,
So,
really. Wow.
yeah, I'd probably say Michigan's my least favorite on the schedule so far.
Damn, okay. All right, and one last question. They want to know, when is your next race you're scheduled to run?
So I'll just go through all of them. I have four more this year. I have Watkins Glen, which is August 7th. Gateway, which is August 22nd, I think. Vegas, which is September 24th, I think. And then Phoenix, which is the last race of the year. That's November 5th, I think. Could be wrong. I could be wrong on any of those dates. I know Watkins Glen's on the 7th. From there, I do not know. Okay, so let's see. Oh, it's on the 20th. Gateway's on the 20th. Watkins Glen's on the 7th. The other two I got right, though. I've gotten Gateway wrong like 15 times because I keep thinking it's on Sunday when it's on Friday. So, yeah. Four more.
Four more. All right, well, oh shit, my computer's whacking out here. And Rick Ryder, I know you know who Rick is, right?
Yeah.
Is it
He gave it a nickname, Kid Lightning.
Kid Lightning, yeah.
Yeah.
He's his biggest fan.
Yeah, no, it was great to see you this weekend, Rick.
That's what he said. Of course, he had to ask, who your favorite announcer was. He had to throw that in there.
Rick Ryder. Rick Ryder's my favorite announcer.
Yeah, he had to throw that in there.
That's right.
But hey, Christian, it was good, man, having you on. Good chatting with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having on. I love this podcast style stuff. We sit here and have a conversation. It's always fun.
Yeah, man. If you want, we give everybody opportunity to give your sponsors a shout out. They love that stuff.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of people I can't thank enough this year. Obviously, Twitter Racing, Curb Records, Protect the Harvest, Farm Paint, T-Sport, Champion, Blaster. Like I say, Curb Records has been influential this year. Everybody we've had on, we've had Dylan Scott and multiple of their producers on our truck this year. So you can't thank them enough. Can't thank everybody enough at Thorsport Racing for me fast trucks, and hopefully they give me real fast trucks next sport.
That's it. Get that win, huh?
That's right. I need to.
All right, man. Well, good luck in your future endeavors, and hopefully we'll see you back at Bethel soon.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
We got Andy Crane. You know who Andy is, right? I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. No, I try to have some fun while I'm out there. It was just a fun weekend, so I got the fans all riled up. I told them I was going to go ship them or something. Turns out I was the one that got shipped.
You got shipped, yeah. See how that works?
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, see that? Karma works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, something like that.
There you go. But hey, man, it was good having you on. It was fun.
Having me on, man.
All right, good luck in all you do, buddy.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, take care. All right. So that was Christian Eckes. And still no sign of Joel, so we're going to carry on to the next guest. We got Leo McGurrin, sportsman runner down at the Penn Speedway. So we're going two totally opposite ends of the spectrum. We go NASCAR craftsman truck racing to back to our roots, back to the dirt. So without further ado, let's bring Leo on and let's ask some questions. Leo, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming on.
You?
I'm good. Sorry that took a little longer than we expected, but we were just going with the flow. You hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
All right, cool. So tell people that may not know who you are, how you got started in racing and what you do.
Well, my name's Leo. I got started about 19 years old now. I started racing when I was 8 years old in slingshots at Wyalusing Speedway.
There you go.
And they unfortunately had a flood and that ruined the racetrack. So when I was about 9, we moved to Hamlin Speedway. I ran pretty good there. Ran a couple small car shootouts at Penn. Then I moved up to a 600. Didn't really like it that good. And once I turned 14, I got into a crate sportsman. Got a couple wins at 5 Mile, and then I ran a mod for about 6 races and won a 50-lap Dave Kneisler race at 5 Mile. And then now we're back running sportsmans for a guy named Joe Powell.
Okay. And you run Penn? That's your full-time spot?
Yeah, right now we're sitting 3rd in points.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Haven't had the best of luck lately.
No?
No, I haven't had too much. We won a grit race earlier this year on a Tuesday.
Okay.
The short track super series was at Penn. We won the grit race that night, and we won a race at 5 Mile, but we're still chasing them points at Penn.
You go chasing them points, you get focused on chasing them points, and that's when bad things start to happen.
Oh, yeah.
That's where your mind gets focused. We talk about that all the time on here. We ask guys if they're points racers, and a lot of guys don't really like to think about it or be points racers. But, unfortunately, sometimes you get caught up in that spot. You a couple weeks in, and then here you are, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th in points, and now you got no choice but to keep going.
Yep. Yeah. Once you start finishing good and you're about top 5 in points, then you're hooked.
Yep. Was that your plan to race for points, or did it suck you in like that?
He wanted me to get in the car first and just get a feel for it, and if we ended up doing good, we were going to run weekly, and here we are. We ended up winning a couple already, and we're finishing top 5s every week.
Okay. Now you travel around. Do you do much traveling?
Me myself, no. We try to stick to Penn for now, and maybe next year or end of the year, maybe we'll venture off a little bit, but not too sure yet on that.
Right.
I have a car of myself. I have a Hig Fab, and I'm currently working on getting that together, and I'm planning on going maybe up to Utica Rome or Fulton by next year.
So will you race for somebody right now?
Yeah, right now I race for a guy named Joe Powell.
Okay.
And,
So you're
he
you're
came to
putting
me earlier on in the year, and my plan was I wasn't going to race this year at all because I didn't have a car ready to go, and I sold it last year. But he came up to my garage one day and asked me if I wanted to drive for him, and I said sure.
hard to say no, right?
Yeah, hard to say no to a free race car.
Don't you? I'm telling you. So you're gonna put the Hig Fat. You're gonna go to Utica Rome. That's a hike out there.
Utica Rome, probably. I would like to go to Fulton weekly and run for Joe on Fridays at Penn with the crate, and then hopefully have my car done to go to Fulton.
Fulton, damn, that now you're talking about laying some miles down.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours from me.
Yeah, do that weekly. I think we'll. Now, let me ask. Are you a junior? Is there another Leo McGurrin, like an old timer? Is it relation?
There's a well, my grandpa used to race Penn 5 mile over at Beach Lake, Spike McGurrin, and my dad used to run Tommy McGurrin up at 5 mile. He went everywhere, and then now I'm be a third generation driver.
Okay. I thought that's why, because when I was mentioning having you on, somebody said that they asked me if it was older. I said I have no idea.
Yeah.
So it kind of threw me off a little bit. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I felt kind of stupid there, you know.
Yeah, no, my dad used to run locally too a lot, but he got out of it a couple years ago.
Okay, so now it's just you. You're just doing it.
Yep.
All right. So Nate Stevens wants to know: are you following the Grit series?
No, we ran that one Grit show. We might run a couple like when they come back to Penn or if they go to 5 mile or maybe we'll go back to Afton, but we're not really going to travel far with them.
Right. Now, have you ventured up to my area, like raced Accord or Orange County or anything like that?
I've never raced it. I've been there, but I've never raced at them tracks. I would like to, but never really got the opportunity to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There are two totally different racetracks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Accord's a bull ring. It's cool. Awesome place. I raced there with my sportsman. I had an open sportsman. I raced the crate there. Accord is cool. It's a tight little bull ring. Whether you're first or last, man, you're up on the wheel racing your ass off, you know.
Yeah.
And Middletown is just total opposite. That's just breakneck speeds, you know. So I always said that Accord will teach you how to race. You know what I mean? To be a racer.
That's what my dad always said about Makatech.
Makatech, yeah. That's going back. That was always a cool place.
Oh yeah. My dad said you run Makatech, that'll make a racer out of you.
Oh yeah. It's a shame that place just went away.
Yeah, that was real close to us too, over in South Canaan.
Yeah. That stunk. Rick wants to know who were your influences growing up? Your favorite driver?
Well, when I was a kid, my dad was my favorite driver, obviously.
Of course.
When I was a kid, I went with him every week. We used to have a rule. I was never allowed to go behind the car in the pits. That was our rule. That was the rule. Couldn't get hurt.
Okay.
And I used to go up in the stands. In the garage, we used to practice a roof stand when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So when he won, I'd be up on the roof.
Yeah.
And my dad was probably one of my bigger influences when I was a kid, just growing up wanting to get into the modified division. And I ended up getting an opportunity to do that a couple of years ago with my own car. And now I'm back running the Sportsman's again, having fun.
How'd that go? With what'd you have? A small block, open small block, or?
Yeah, we had an open small little 358.
Right. How'd that go for you? How'd you like that?
Pretty good. I mean, we started out. The motor actually I won in the modified. It's a 20-year-old motor that my sponsor used to run with back in his day.
Damn. Okay.
My dad won the same race with the same motor.
Damn. So that always makes you feel really good, right? When you can win on old stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I used to. That car I had, it was nothing but old stuff.
Damn. Yeah, that's awesome. You don't see that stuff happen much anymore.
No, everybody goes to the short rod coil
Yeah.
left side, and there one bigger name guy goes to it. Now everybody's got to go to it.
Yeah. Now,
Sometimes that old stuff works pretty good though.
yeah, it does. Are you on torsion bars? Are you still on bars, or did you make the switch too?
My car owner had the coils on, but we're still on the long rods and right side.
Okay.
So we're still doing old school.
Yeah. I say that's the hot transition is the coils and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
See,
it does make a pretty big difference switching to that stuff. I mean, just from how we have it, just with the coils on it, there's such a big difference with them bars and the coils. I mean, you can drive it in the corner so much harder.
With the coils?
Yeah, with the coils on.
Yeah.
Okay. You can drive it in there wherever you want, and it'll stick there.
Really? Yeah, we've had a discussion with Joe, our local guy. We was asking him the same thing, about the setup and stuff like that. Is it, what's the difference and stuff? And he said too that the driving is totally different on it.
Yeah.
But it just seems like I could see maybe if the track was dry. Now, what happens if that track gets rutted up? Them coils.
That's where you don't. That's where you want.
You know what I mean? That's a whole different animal on a coil. If the track gets rutted up, now I just don't. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know, but it seems like them coils are going to be bad for the game at that point, right?
Yeah, once that track gets roughed up, you wish you had your bar car back.
Right. Yeah. Right. They want to know: does your dad still go to the races with you?
He comes once in a while. He actually helped me out a lot this year already with the car, setting it up, and helped me with some shock work and getting the car tuned in. Because when I first got in it, he didn't really have a setup, and he was just getting started, and he didn't really like it too much, and he wanted to start winning some races.
Yeah, and it looked like it worked.
Oh yeah, it's working pretty good.
So, yeah.
My dad's been doing it about 40 years. He's got them cars down to
oh, sure. Them old tricks. See that? Still work today.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. And
I tell him some of the stuff these new guys are doing, and he tells me don't even bother listening.
Don't bother. Yep.
He says stick to the simple.
Yep. Hey, sometimes simple is best.
Yeah.
We've had a few weeks back we had Danny Creedon on. I mean, he's a phenomenal racer. And he told us that he didn't want to make the transition to coils. He was one of the last guys to make the switch. But he's an old school racer too. But he can make anything work. But he was another one that was late to the game on the coils. I was kind of surprised at that. He was still on the bars. So now they want to know, to your memory, did your dad have any rivals when he raced?
Gee, not that I really remember. I mean, he's probably got stories to tell, but I remember him and Brian Weaver used to be back and forth every 5 miles.
Right? Yeah, sure.
Them two would be battling for the lead every week, or somewhere up front. Them two would be side by side, throwing sliders, beating and banging off each other.
Yeah. And when was when was your dad's last race?
2000, about middle of 2009, he got in a motorcycle accident, so that put him out for a while. Yeah. And 2014, when I started running the 600, he kind of got back in a car, and he started going again, but he said he's had enough of this.
Yeah, I know the feeling. That's what happened to me. I got in a motorcycle accident too. Kind of ruined my racing deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. What kind of car do you run? You got Bicknell, Tio? What are you running?
The car I ran last year and a couple years before that was a 2007 Tio Bowflex.
Okay.
And now I have a 2012 Troyer Max.
Troyer,
yep.
Wow. Okay, that's you don't see many guys running them too much either.
No, and I can't really complain much about it. I mean, it goes good wherever we go. It flies.
Yeah, it seems it. I was looking you up there. I said it seems like it goes pretty well.
Yeah, we went to Afton for the first time with this car this year, and started almost dead last and just came. We were up to about 6th and then blew a right rear with 2 to go.
Now, tongue tie. Afton, I haven't been there in a while. I remember the last time I was up there racing. It's kind of like a sandbox, is what it's a unique surface, I guess you would say, right?
It's something different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It gets the worst part is it gets so slick sometimes it's hard to pass on the outside, but it also depends on how you got your car hooked up. If you got your car hooked up for that slick stuff, you might go pretty good.
Yeah, it's weird there though. I always found it interesting there, the way that surface was up there.
Yeah, some nights it'll be wide open tacky, and then it's slick from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Penn
5 Mile
Can's
Point,
pretty nice.
Penn Can. You see, I haven't been there yet this year. 5 Mile, I loved 5 Mile Point. That was probably one of my favorites. I loved racing there. That was a cool place.
Yeah, no, Penn Can, it was a little rough at the beginning of the year, but they're starting to get it figured out better and better every week.
Yeah.
And, like on Friday, that was the best track we've had all year. This year has been the best track it's been in a couple of years, last 5 years.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
5 Mile, just same old 5 Mile.
Yeah.
It's a little sandy in the heat races. Feature time, it all blows off, and you can race a little bit.
Yeah, it's always at the beginning. It's sandy as hell.
Yeah, it's like running the original Daytona Beach.
But yeah, it's amazing. It's worse when you're out there racing. That stuff just clinging and panging off your helmet and stuff.
Oh, you better put extra tear offs on.
Yeah, it's crazy. They want to know: are you going to take up the rivalry with Brad Weaver?
Me and Brad had a battle for that grit race at Penn Can. No, me and him had a real good battle. Brad's a hell of a good guy, though. I mean, I've ran with him for the last 4 years now. I mean, even in the modified, me and him can run side by side. It's pretty cool though to be able to race with him between how my dad and his dad used to race with each other.
Yeah, that's cool when it goes like that. Yeah. So what's your plans? What is your plan? Is just run the championship, run for the gold at Penn Can?
That's what we're going for.
No, that's it. No other traveling around.
No, probably just stick with Penn Can on Fridays, and like I said, maybe hit up some of them grit shows on 5 Mile or Afton, and that's probably it.
It's tough. Now how's Penn Can on the tires? I mean, considering with the tire shortage and stuff like that, how's Penn Can? Is it abrasive on the tires? Can you make them last? Or
last couple weeks, it's been getting pretty rough on tires. I mean, we've been burning up right rears pretty bad there, but like the last time we were there on Friday, it was pretty nice. We didn't really touch them.
Really? Okay. Yeah,
the first couple weeks it was just so dry and it got slick, and even the crates, we were burning tires off.
Really? Yeah, that's a problem when crates are burning them off like that.
Even up 5 Mile for the first couple weeks there was guys putting new right rears on and they'd be junk at the end, even in the crates.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Are you one that's struggling with tires as well?
Right now we're doing pretty
Are you
good.
stocked up?
Yeah, we're stocked up pretty good. My car owner, Joe, he knows Stafersky paving and them, Stafersky auto parts.
Uh-huh.
They sell us a couple tires here and there when we need them.
Oh, they sell them out there?
Well, just
for
you.
For
us. Yeah.
For you, right, yeah,
just for a couple local guys, they help out.
Yep.
They're a hell of a nice group, too, up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I see their name on a couple cars up that way.
Yeah, he gets pretty big with Brett Tonkin and them.
Tonkin, yeah. Yep, yeah, right.
Yankowski runs for him once in a while at Penn Can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. People, when they get racing like that, big sponsors helping out, giving back, that's cool.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, you ever think of coming to Eastern States? I'm sure you've been there as a spectator, right?
Yeah, that's been one of my goals now for a long time is run Eastern States, maybe hit up Super Dirt Week. Those are my two big ones.
Yeah. Well, you get that Hig Fab together, that's Hig's country up there. That
Oh yeah.
You get that thing working. That's you'll definitely do good there. Them Hig Fabs roll very good up there.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah, and Hig's a great guy too. He help you. Yeah, he's phenomenal guy.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times before. He's another one of them great group of guys up there.
Yeah, he's best. Him and his old man. They've been around a long time too.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, I say the same thing. My partner likes to ask the question. Besides Daytona 500, what's the biggest race you would like to win?
I think locally, dirt-wise, biggest one I would like to win is Super Dirt Week.
Super Dirt Week?
Then Super Dirt Week, Eastern States. Ever go down Charlotte like that, Volusia. Those be some of my bigger tracks I'd like to go to.
And now you're from PA, right?
Yeah.
And no Freedom 76 are on that list.
I don't know.
That's it.
That's a tough one there.
I mean, being a PA guy, you think that the 76er would be
72.
Coal Cracker. Yeah, the Coal Crackers down there,
one.
Big Diamond. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the only problem with going down, is like if we get a car ready for Fulton, they have a New York and PA spec motor, so you got to make a couple changes to go run down south. But the New York spec head motors are just a little bit underpowered to go run down south with the PA guys. It's almost not worth it.
Yeah, you hear that a lot, with that, especially with them open motors down in PA, Big Diamond and Grandview.
Yeah,
eat you up down there. That to me, that's. I mean, I don't know what your thought is, but to me, that kind of hurts the racing. I think. You think with all the different motor combinations and stuff like that.
I think it would attract more cars and possibly even get more people into it if they all made it the same kind of motor.
Yeah.
Kind of like the crates, but kind of keep it at least a little more local around with the same rules. I mean, Brett Dale's got a good thing going on too with the open stuff. For us local guys to go try and run with the big guys, we can bring our local open motor stuff.
Right.
That's the only nice thing about the open motor kind of racing like that.
Yeah. And that's his motor rules pretty much wide open. I mean, you can pretty much run anything you want to run.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's good, and it's
but it's good.
For like the small budget guy, it'll
and that's a problem, and that's what I was going to say. If you got that, you as a racer, would that stop you from going to a particular race knowing that you're going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if I have my car together, there's no way I'd be able to run with them guys with them big motors.
Right, and that's the thing, and that would stop you from even going, to the race, and that's tough,
That's what hurts a lot of these small budget guys with even just local racing. People spend outrageous amount of money, and then they end up winning every week because they're the ones spending the most money.
They're outspending everybody, yeah. But then everybody that does that, then everybody thinks they're cheating,
Yeah.
You start outspending them, but yeah.
But like I said, sometimes that older stuff works pretty good.
Oh, it does. It does. It's funny when I had my car. Mine was a old Tio, 05 Tio.
Yeah.
And I mean, that thing I thought it was junk, So I offed it, and the guy that wound up with it wound up winning down in New Egypt like a lot. You know what I mean? It was like crazy. Yeah. It's just weird how that works,
Yeah.
But to me, it was tough because I raced the street stocks, and then making that transition from street stocks to sportsman was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Oh man, the way that those cars set up, I mean, it's you've been, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot.
You said you came from slingshots and stuff like that. I mean, even from that, I mean, they're kind of. But that's a huge jump.
Going from a small car right up to a big car.
Yeah, that's
a big difference.
That's huge difference. But luckily, you got awesome people behind you. Your family. That's like an ace in the hole right there.
Yeah, like I said, my dad. That was my biggest help throughout my years with racing. Even Mom letting me get in the car.
That's what I'm saying. That's always nice to have that. Now, when you got a lot of help, otherwise, people going to the track with you like that. I mean, because that's another issue. A lot of people, you just can't find the help.
Yeah, when I was running myself, when I first got into sportsman, it was just me and my dad going for years, and then
It's
last
tough.
year, last year I was going by myself a little bit, and that just sucks doing it all
Yeah.
yourself like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. I had me and my brother went, and then it's times that he couldn't go, and I'd be by myself. Man, it's just almost impossible on
Yeah,
that car. You know what I mean? It's just hard. But it's like you look back at years going by, like these guys. Oh, and still some people have a ton of people. It's like, where the hell did they find all these guys that want to come to the race? I can't find guys unless I buy them food and beer and everything else. You got to pay them.
well,
It's like,
you gotta feed your help.
well, yeah, but
That's a
some of
good
these
thing.
guys are out of control with the food. I can't
Oh
afford
yeah,
it.
they want a filet mignon for dinner.
Yeah, it's like, holy cow. Yeah, it's tough business. But no, it's so. But yeah, so what sponsors you got on your car? Let's talk about them.
Like I said, biggest person I really got to thank is Joe Powell for giving me the opportunity to even be in this car. And
Oh yeah,
fortunately, we've been doing really good with it. And like Steferskis, they help us out a little bit with tires. Pine Line Auto, Alan Rudalavich, he sells us some tires once in a while. Beston's Auto Body, they bought me a couple new ones before this tire shortage deal started. My main sponsor, Sharky's Fuels, with my car, he said he was going to get me a couple tires.
yeah,
Brennan Heavy Equipment, they gave us some money at the beginning of the year to start us out when my car owner wanted to run, but anything helps anymore, really.
Oh yeah. No matter what the size of it is.
Yeah.
This it's tough, especially with the whole pandemic deal. It was hard to find sponsorship or anything like that. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
It ain't getting any cheaper either.
No, it's not. And I don't see no end in sight. And now with the tire shortage, race fuel's expensive. It's tough. It's getting to be a tough game. I just hope that the whole tire deal doesn't put a clamp on racing.
Yeah.
We missed damn near all last year, and now tires are going to be an issue. Start shutting stuff down. I mean,
Then they
a
raised
couple
the
tracks
price.
are, a couple tracks already lost some races. They took races away. That sucks to do that.
Yeah, and then they raised the price on American racers too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they raised them about $20 almost.
Yeah. See, I mean that, and it's already expensive to race or do anything. It's tough. It's a tough deal right now.
Yeah.
But let me ask one question. Your number. I always like to ask guys. I see you had two different numbers. Is the number 90 on that? Is that your car owner's number, or what's your number? And what's the
My
meaning behind your
personal
number?
My personal number 29 was my grandpa's, and
Okay.
then my dad ran it. And once my dad got the opportunity to run for a BPG, Chad Sinnen for a while, so then they switched over to 23, and then my dad ran for Sharky's Fuels, which was 35, but 29 is like the family number.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, I always like to ask guys where they got it from and what's the meaning behind it.
Yeah, and my car owner Joe Powell, he wanted 70J because he's 70 years old and his first name starts with J.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. So the car, this one is 90, right? Or
The crate were
Se-
running 70J.
70J. Okay, yeah.
Then my number is 29.
29. Okay. Now Sharky's Fuel, they've been around a long. They sponsored a lot of name that comes to mind every time I think of Sharky's Fuel. I think of Brian Malcolm.
Yep, him and my dad were kind of teammates there for a couple of years.
Okay.
They've had some good battles. I know Brian pretty good too.
Brian's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he spent some time up at Accord. He raced at Accord for a little while. He's a character. He's a cool dude though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Another one that's been around. He was on that. He was on a few weeks ago, or about a month or two ago. He's cool.
Yeah.
And he's still getting it done too.
Oh, yeah, he's still winning races.
Yeah, I see. He's still down there, Penn and stuff.
Yeah.
He's racing the sportsman. Yeah, he's just having fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all this sport's supposed to be about. Just have some fun, but
Until you get sucked into the points race, and then you're in trouble.
Like, look what's happening to us. We got sucked into them points, and now we're stuck.
Yeah, it's tough, you know. And how many more races you got?
I'm not too sure about that. Probably, I'm gonna say 10 or so, 12, somewhere around there.
That's still a long time.
Yeah, it don't seem like it, but that's in a couple months of racing.
Yeah, that's a lot of stressful months.
Yeah,
it's where you just hope that, you know, you say you had bad luck. If it continues, just let it go. That's your best bet, yo. Then you can go out and just race and have fun. Or you could just keep winning. Just win, and then the points will fall themselves.
I mean, that's the goal every week.
You just win, and the points will fall where they will.
Hopefully, yep.
But hey,
like
man,
my dad always said too, points don't matter where you finish. The points are free.
That exactly. That's it, man. But hey, it was cool having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, it's maybe later on in the year when it gets closer, maybe we'll be talking to you as a track champion.
Yeah,
we'll have you back on again. But yeah, it was cool, and good luck. You know, hopefully things all work out for you and whatever you do.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, man.
We'll see you later.
All right, take care. All right, so that was Leo McGurrin. We still have some people watching. I got tickets to give away for Accord Speedway. I have a trivia question. We have a few people on, so maybe somebody will know the answer. So here's the question. It's an Accord question. The question is, back in 1992, when Accord Speedway reopened, who was the first modified feature winner? Let's see if anybody knows. That's the question I got. There's still some people watching, so I'm hoping somebody will know the answer. Get 2 tickets to Accord. I don't know if we got. Joel was MIA, so he usually takes care of the Orange County tickets. So I'm not going to say we got any to give away. First one with the correct answer. 1992, when Accord reopened, who was the modified winner? 1992. And this is going to be the new show date. Mondays, Thursdays were tough for people, for drivers. Everybody that I spoke to said Thursdays they're in the shop finishing up scaling and getting the car ready for Friday, Saturday racing. So me and Joel decided to make the switch to Mondays. And with that switch, we got some really good drivers lined up now. It was getting pretty tough on a Thursday to get guys on, so Mondays is looking fairly good. I don't see a correct answer yet. I'll give you a hint. His number was 18W. That was the number. 1992. Somebody Google it. Somebody give me a winner. It's when Accord reopened. Rick Ryder. You can't win, Rick. You're going to be there anyway. Japers. But Rick Ryder is correct. Cliff Wicks. Cliff Wicks was the winner. He was the first one to to answer the question. But Rick is already going to be there, up in the booth. And also, Bethel Motor Speedway this weekend. Saturday night is biker night. Anybody that rolls in on a bike gets free admission to the races. So that's a pretty cool deal. And they have a big wheel race for the kids. We sponsored the trophies for that to give back to the kids. So if your kids got a big wheel, bring them out to Bethel. And bring your motorcycle. Anybody that's got a motorcycle. So that's always I guess they're gonna have a like a parade thing on the track. So if you got a motorcycle, that's cool. Show it off. And you get the races. Get to watch some racing as well. All right, it said Bethel, George piped in. He does have 4 tickets to give away. So what I'll do, after the show, I am going to put up a Bethel trivia question. And then that'll be on the page. So be looking for that. First correct answer on the Bethel trivia question after the show will get 4 general admission tickets to Bethel Motor Speedway. Thank you, George. So I'll put that trivia question up. It'll be a Bethel trivia question. And I'll put that up after I go off here. And whoever answers that question, the first one to answer that question will win it. And we will be at Bethel. Well, I guess we'll take the show on the road to Bethel this week. We'll try to get some live interviews and stuff in the pits and talk to some guys and do some cool stuff and give Bethel a little bit of promotion. I know we've been doing a lot for Orange County, and so we're going to go to Bethel and try to get them a little recognition. So we'll be there Saturday, so look for us, and we'll be talking to people then. So, and again, Mondays are the new show, so we'll see everybody next week. And if you're racing at Bethel, I'll see you at Bethel Saturday.